discuss the case of the mother and the boyfriend charged after a 5-year-old's body was found in a closet in the apartment in Houston. Now, this is looking a little like the case of Maleah. A Texas mother and her boyfriend now face charges after police found the body of a woman's 5-year-old child in the closet in the home where they lived and had been there almost a week. Now, since this case has been in the news for a little while now, a few weeks now, stories have changed. The mother was arrested and charged with tampering with evidence, and she is Serena's mother. She's 27 years old, Priscilla Torres. Tampering with evidence involving a human corpse. A warrant was issued for the arrest of her and her boyfriend, Santiago Esparzo Jr., who on Friday handed himself in as a warrant for his arrest was issued, and he has been charged with the same offense, tampering with evidence involving a human corpse. Now, the judge, I think, did set his bond for $100,000, and hers was a little less than that, but either way, none of them are getting out anytime soon. Also, we found out that he has been accused of abusing another child, which was his son. To what extent, I don't know, but his charges in the past, because they are alleged that he is a known to the police as like a gang member. He's 30 years old. He also was the maintenance guy, the caretaker of the apartment complex to which this little girl's body was found. One of the first stories that came out was that relatives had gone to the apartment because they hadn't seen the little girl for a little while or heard of her. Maybe they called her or something on the telephone, but they went there and they said there was a foul smell coming from the apartment, and the little girl was nowhere to be seen. Maybe they asked them questions, where is she? And they started looking in the closet, and this is where they found the 5-year-old's body in the closet, wrapped in blankets. And this was the grandmother of the 5-year-old, and she was the one that called 911. This was the first story that came out. So she had called the police and called 911, and then of course, the police came. But since then, the mother has made some statements of the events leading to her daughter's death. Now, I don't know which one was the first story. She was first of all, she was giving her daughter a bath. And then she left, and there was some bowl cleaner, toilet cleaner, and which was full, she said, and then when she come back, it was empty. Now, I find that odd because this little girl is 5 years old. I doubt if she would even drink toilet bowl cleaner because she is 5 years old. And if it was full, I doubt if it would be empty. The first taste that she tasted of that, she wouldn't have drunk it no more. So that story is a lie. It has to be a lie. She would not drink that willingly. That's one of the stories that first came out. And you know, she said she only left for a moment, for a minute. And the toilet bowl cleaner was empty. And it was in the bathtub. Anyway, that's according to the prosecutors as well. So, and then Torres, then Priscilla, that's her first name. Then she changed her story, changed it, claiming that it was her boyfriend's apartment making dinner. Well, Esparzo Jr. gave Serena a bath. Now, the boyfriend's giving her a bath. And when she went to check on her, she said she opened the bathroom door to see the girl's skin peeling and bruises on her forehead. Now, that's another story. But the other story to that little part was that she couldn't open the bathroom door. To check on her. So that's another story. And then another one is they both decided to put her in bed without calling the police. Yeah, they both decided to just put her in bed after her skin is peeling off. She's having problems breathing properly. She's choking. She's got bruises on her body. That's the mother. She also told the investigators that she had died on August the 27th. And that she didn't want to let her go. So she left the girl's body wrapped in a blanket inside the closet. She didn't want to let the girl go, but she let her die without calling 911 or any kind of assistance to get her to the hospital. If she had accidentally swallowed poisonous chemicals like toilet bowl cleaner, and her skin was bruised and her skin was peeling off. Now, how would her skin be peeling off drinking toilet bowl cleaner? Well, that was just one of the stories. So if her skin was peeling off, it sounds like, I don't know, maybe she was burnt, punched, alleged, you know, this is just me saying this, or she was held in some acid or some kind in a bathtub with some kind of chemical that burns your skin off. So these are a few stories that are coming out. And then another one is that they left the home for 2 or 3 days and stayed in a hotel and left her daughter in the bedroom, in the closet, dying. Or was she already dead? I think the police were saying that this child suffered. She had a very slow death through being poisoned. Maybe she was being sick and she wasn't eating and she was not drinking. So this little girl died a very slow death, but they left for 3 days. Now, if that was so, I don't know if the little girl could have got out the apartment and called for help anyway. I don't know. So I'm thinking she was probably already dead when they left. They were also in the apartment and just watching her die. That's all they did. They watched her die and didn't render any help. Now, her lawyer made a statement on the news in the courtroom saying that she more or less get away with this. She will beat the rap, more or less, if you know what I mean. I don't know, changing your story and then pinning one against the other now. Yeah, she's blaming him, and now also he is blaming her, that she's the one that did it, more or less, and he's the one that didn't do anything about it neither. And he's also saying that he would never hurt a child. He would never hurt someone else's child because he has children of his own. Well, remember, guys, he's been in trouble for hurting his own child, and I don't know what the extent was, if he was accused of it or he had been found guilty of it, or what he did to his own child. I don't know if he gave him a black eye, beat them, starved them. I don't know. But he has that against him already. And not just that, he has a lot of other charges against him, as he apparently was in some gang, like I said, in some kind of gang. But alleged. But gang members usually don't beat up children and do all this kind of stuff to the children, torture, that kind of thing. And this child is not his. So now we've got a case like the Maleah case, and apparently they don't live too far away from Maleah's apartment where she used to live. It's not too far away, and the apartments look like kind of like the same, if you ask me. Like the same kind of color, same kind of stairs, like outside, to the upper apartments, it kind of looks like the same. So there you go, guys. We have another story from the little girl's uncle. He says that Esparza held her down in the tub filled with acid cleaner. Now, this is another story. I don't know how the uncle would know this. Is it just speculation? Or does he know something? Has he spoken to Priscilla? And she may have mentioned this. said that the tub filled with acid cleaner, she splashed around in pain. Then she was in agonizing pain for like 4 days before she died. And then also she was wrapped her up. Apparently she was found with a blanket and placed her in the closet. And they went to Galveston because they couldn't stand the smell. They couldn't stand the smell. So, this mother saying that she couldn't let her go, but she couldn't call 911 and she couldn't render her any help. But then she also says she did do some kind of CPR on her and stuff like that, but I doubt it. I mean, that's another story. She's saying she did render some help. No, she didn't. She didn't call 911. And that's all there is to it. So she didn't do no CPR on her. Because you would have called 911 right away as soon as you could. I mean, on Sunday, his parents threatened to call the cops if they didn't hear from the little girl. His parents. So, his parents. So, it wasn't her parents. So, that's just another story that his parents threatened to call the cops if they didn't hear from this little girl. So, maybe his parents were no more than we think. Maybe she was abused, and maybe he may have said something to his parents that the little girl's sick and stuff like that. We don't know what his parents knew or her parents, because now we've got the boyfriend and the girlfriend, and now they're telling their side of the story. Apparently he has had a channel news woman go in there and do an exclusive interview with him in jail. And believe me, his story is going to be different to her story. It's a he said, she said now, and that's how that story stands right now. But there's another story about the little girl having a bath. This time she told the police that she went to her boyfriend's apartment. It wasn't even in her apartment. This story may get a little confusing as to the stories in the news, and for her, the mother changing her stories of events. That on August the 23rd, she had gone to her boyfriend's apartment, and which was a Friday, and he offered to give her daughter a bath while she made dinner. Now, who does that? You go to your boyfriend's house, you make dinner, and then your boyfriend offers to give her a bath. She didn't really need a bath right there and then. No, she didn't. That is another lie, in my opinion. And that's just another story she's telling. So, we're not going to know the real truth of what happened, because it's going to be a he said, she said case. Now, the autopsy has been done on this little girl, and I don't know when it will be released or it will be sealed for now, as the investigators and the prosecutors and the defense are making their case. So we may not know what really happened at this time, but we surely will know what she died of. This is when she said that she went upstairs and the bathroom door was locked. Was closed or locked, and she opened it and saw her daughter's skin peeling off and bruises. Well, on her forehead. Now, I don't know if you could see bruises right away on the little girl's forehead, as you know, she was in the bathroom. Now, you didn't hear your little girl screaming, yelling, crying, anything like that. You didn't hear nothing. You were only in the kitchen. And this is, I assume it's only one floor. It's an apartment. You didn't hear nothing? Nah. I beg to differ on this one. That story is another lie. Now, she didn't live with her boyfriend. She did not live with her boyfriend. So, whose closet was it? Was it her boyfriend's closet? Because, you know, whose home was the little girl's body found in? Whose home? Her apartment or his apartment? Now I'm going to have to find that one out, because now I just got a little confused on that one. So if you guys know if it was her apartment or his apartment, I assume they went to her apartment. But then this comes into why his parents said if they do not hear from this little girl, they're going to call the police. Now, this makes me think he may have called his mother up and said what may have happened, or that she has done something to her little girl and stuff like that. So it just makes me feel that he may have said something to somebody about this, but we're not going to know that until we get a little bit more information from relatives, the ones in questions, the one that called the police days before, why they were worried about this little girl, why they wanted to get in touch with her so bad. What do they know? What do they know about this little girl? Maybe she's been abused. The silent killer, you know, was being abused. And would this boyfriend have really done that? And why would he do that to somebody else's child? But why would he do that in such a way? Was he abusing her before this? Was the mother abusing? Yeah, this one does sound like the Maleah's case. But I don't know if she's got been to the doctor for anything, you know, and they found bruising on her before or anything like that. Or another story, she said she didn't want to call the police because social services would take her child away. Now, do the social services know anything about this child? Have they been involved before? We'll see, because she was afraid that social services would take her child. But the thing is, she was afraid of that, yet she watched her daughter's skin peel off and watch her die, and then throw her in the closet. like some dirty clothes, you know, and left her there. And not only that, she left the home and went to a hotel. She went to the home, you know, from the home to a hotel. That's what she did. Out of sight, out of mind. I have just read something else that says, when I was questioning where did she live, where was this little girl's body found? Well, she had moved into his apartment on the 23rd of August. That was the Friday, and this is when he offered to give the little girl a bath. So she suddenly moves into his apartment. I'm not sure where she lived before then, if she lived in the same complex. But the day she moved in to her boyfriend's apartment is the day this little girl died. Oh my goodness. So this is not sounding very good, is it? Was this a planned thing? Did she plan this? So maybe that's why there was toilet bowl cleaner and stuff in the bathroom, because he didn't have children around him. He didn't have to worry about that. But he had other children. I assume they came to visit. I just assume that. Maybe they didn't because of his past criminal record. But, you know, it doesn't matter if you got a criminal record, a past record. Sometimes you can still see your children. In some cases, they are allowed to go to your home. So, I mean, yeah. So, she puts her child in his bed, or somebody's bed in his apartment, in Esparzo's apartment. It's Esparza, if that's how you pronounce it. And this is why she feared, because the CPS would take her child away, and thought that her daughter's burns would heal without any treatment. Nah. This child wouldn't get that many burns on her without something going on, something more than this. What do you think, guys? What do you think that's really happened in here? This case is getting a little bit more confusing as the days go ahead, because they keep changing their stories. So, but the uncle and the grandparents, I feel they know what's going on. It's like Maleah's Davis' grandmother. She knows more what happened to that little girl. Just like these relatives know what was going on with this little girl. She feared the CPS. You don't have to fear the CPS. You don't have to fear nothing. If your child digested some poison, or they got burned accidentally, something was going on, you would have no worries, and you would call 911. The firefighters are the ones that found her remains in the closet. But you would call 911, or you'd rush your child to the nearest hospital. You would call the 1-800 number for poisons. You would do a number of things, but first off, you would call 911 and get her to an hospital where they can give her some kind of treatment right away, because it's not going to heal by themselves. It's going to burn your insides. Now she says that her skin was peeling off right away. I can't see that your skin would peel off right away if you drank some bowl cleaner. Your body had to been burnt somehow before that. That's all I'm saying. So guys, let's just have a little discussion on this case. Leave your comments below. Tell me your thoughts on what you think really happened, and thank you for stopping by. And don't forget to like and sub to my channel and press the little notification bell for further updates, further videos. And so I'll see you in the comments.